Ollies. Oh, the dreaded Ollie. Well, before we get into the dreaded Ollie, I just want to mention that there's a lot you can do on a skateboard without ollieing. People were skateboarding for a long time before that first time that Rodney Mullen, while he was working on something else, realized that the board would bounce if you hit the tail. And that, in combination with the bounce and a pull up on your foot, your front foot, will lead to popping, and then as your foot comes over it, leveling. Now, for the longest time, watching people, before the internet and stuff, just sort of watching people from a distance, I thought the pull of the foot was actually to lift the board. And I guess in some cases it is. I'm still learning this, so help me out. And I'm sure as we get further into these things, you get better and better, these things will become a non-issue. But some of the things that I did practice for a long time when I was sort of starting to learn to ollie was this thing, just kind of getting used to my foot going up the board. And this is an exercise that you can do. I mean, you don't need the rings, but you can use them if you want. This is just an exercise in front of a TV. Now, you see I'm doing a nice wide, long stroke. It doesn't have to be that. It's just getting used to that action. And once you get your toes used to that, then you can start to try and get the pop in. And then as the pop goes in, oh nice, start to put a little bit of height on it. Start to get a little higher again. And before you know it, you'll realize that the skateboarder is kind of moving where you want it to. So the trick, as I understand it, again, this is such a, the ollie is a basic foundational movement, but there are so many different ways to do it, and there's so many different pressure points and all these things. The basics, as I know it, is push, tail hits, causes the board to come up. It's now like that. As this foot drags, levels the board, kind of just takes the momentum of the pop and turns it into something, when you flatten the board out. Now, there is some argument to when you do of your back foot placement. Some people say in order to get a proper ollie, you should be halfway back, or sort of halfway, your foot should be in the back corner of this, so that when you pop, the board stays in control. Now, I know that on some of these bigger decks, that is actually quite true. I find that when I'm popping, I'm not quite on the quarter, but I'm more in the center. Oh, that's a heavy deck. That's my pool deck. But on these freestyle boards, I find that if I do it too far back here, the board has a tendency to want to spin this way. And I don't want that. So I'm finding more and more, it's almost a equal footing. You kind of see there. Move this one back a bit. It's kind of equal footing. And again, this foot in the middle of the foot, the middle of the board. This one is going to pop it down, and it's timing from there. From there on, it's just timing. And it's going to take a while to get that. It's a push while you're jumping. So your body is going up. Your left or back ankle is snapping. While this leg is lifting, your body is still going up. And then this leg goes forward to balance the board out. It's a lot more to it than it looks like. Again, if you're new to it, practice 1,000 of them using your rings. Use your rings over and over again. It's going to help you with all those missed ones, and it also gives you a little bit of time to kind of look down and correct. Now, I don't recommend, as a skateboarding lesson on ollieing, go to some of the other pages again. A lot of great people out there doing it. Tony Gale's got some excellent exercises, as well as Waltz. Waltz is a great channel where they do all the skateboard tricks. The ollie is not particularly a freestyle trick. If you're just interested in freestyle, You don't necessarily need to know how to Ollie, but it is a pretty staple trick these days, and it leads to so many other things. So again, you can practice this as much as you want. 10 or so at a time is usually pretty good. Don't worry about going too high. Don't worry about sort of getting your legs pulled up. Like, just kind of enjoy the sensation for a bit. That feels great when you do get it. When you get it to come up a little bit, it just kind of hangs there for a second. Too much. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, spring is almost here. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Can't wait to get back out into the park, on the street, and at the grocery store. All these cool places. Go back out, have some fun, doing some skateboarding. Really, really looking forward to it. In the meantime, we've still got a couple weeks of weather, and this is going to go through till May, get us well into the spring. That was the Ollie. Do with it what you will. Enjoy. Welcome to Back on Board with old dog Ken Tizzard, my fitness journey at 55. We'll see you soon. Cheers.